So in the building, um, getting a little wrenching time done with Ruby Red. I'm behind the eight ball in terms of my timing, schedule, and everything. But this one thing I'll say, um, it's been real. These past couple months have been real, and these past couple days have been teaching me a lot, showing me a lot. Um, and the life application is just enjoy life. You know, sometimes you can't schedule life. You just have to do life. And those of you know, it might for some it might be redundant, but we're getting ready for the trip. We're going to take off on we're going to take off on Sunday, right after church. So fun fact, it's too late now because I've already drained the primer. I refilled it, but normally what I would do is I will take the bike on a nice little ride to warm it up and heat up the fluids. So when I get ready to drain, they are already hot and they drain a little bit more freely, if you will. Not only that, but the oil filter is hot as well, so it usually will come off a little bit easier. I got it to break, not break as in broken, but to break in terms of its hold. Um, but if the bike was warm, it would have been that much easier. So I don't know if you have any tips or tricks to when you're servicing your bike, but that's one I found to be useful. And so even when you bring your bike to the shop, they will do that as well. So I'm gonna give you another tip, okay? Because I'm not really one for spending money when I don't necessarily have to, because I bike on a budget. I don't know about you. You might have that long time money, and I don't. And even if I did, I still wouldn't spend it frivolously. However, I was at Harley the other day, and I had a voltage regulator to go bad on me before. Okay, and what the problem was when I would change my oil and filter, the oil would drip down from the oil filter and it would soak that plug, because on the 19, the plug for the voltage regulator is right there by the oil filter. So when taking that filter off, that oil filter, if you're not careful, you're bound to get some oil to drip down there. So that's what was happening to me. So when I discovered that that was an issue, I started trying to be a little bit more careful. So I kind of tried to come up with some kind of a concoction to catch the oil so that it wouldn't drip down on that plug. Well, yesterday, day before yesterday, I was at the Harley shop and realized that they actually made a part to help with that. And I said, that's what I need right there. Until they told me it was $50. I said, $50? I think I'll pass. So I'm here, I'm doing it now, and I had a different mechanism that I had set up before. And right now I'm just underneath the carport. It's a beautiful day here in the Carolinas. Right now, to me, it feels like the low 70s, which is absolutely beautiful. Slight breeze, plenty of sunshine. So instead of putting it in the building on my lift, I just said I'll just do it right here because I'm just changing the three fluids, and then I'll change the spark plugs and possibly my wires after I inspect them. So I said I'll just do it right here underneath the carport. And so I'm getting ready to change my oil filter, and I said, well, I don't want that oil to leak. So this is what I came up with. I don't know what you do and what you've come up with, but you tell me what you think. The trick is, or the thing is, that it works. So what I did was I had one of a previous oil canister or whatever. I split it down. First of all, I cut the. Oh, let me show you. Bada boom, bada bang. Open it up so I still have access to the filter. And so now I slide that puppy in there like that, all the way up to the back. And I still have access to the bolt. In this case, I got one of those aftermarket filters that I had used last time I did my filter change, oil filter change. And I don't know if I really like them, to be honest with you. This time around, I went with the whole Amsoil kit. okay, which you get your 5 quarts of oil. Well, let me just do this. That'll probably be easier. And you get your handy dandy oil filter with the, and I'm glad I saw that. I thought they didn't send me one, but they actually did. So, black filter, put that puppy in there, and then it should be good to go. If you ride them, they're gonna break after a while, sooner or later. Okay, and so even if you say, "Well, I'm not gonna fix it. I don't have the skill," you ought to have at least enough knowledge to know that you know what something is something is not right with my bike. I was just watching Big Sarge. Shout out to Big Sarge and Jimmy. And Jimmy had a problem on the side of the road with his valve stem, and so his tire went flat. And what you need to understand is a tire going flat is dangerous, but what's even more dangerous than the tire going flat is you not realizing what's happening. So even though you might not be the one to fix it, you got to be the one to notice that something's not right. So anyway, so I've got this thing here. I don't have it up on a lift. If I had it up on a lift, it would be a little different situation. But since I'm just here underneath the carport and not on the lift, I got my kickstand down, obviously, right? And so the kickstand is in the way of the oil pan, or in other words, I can't get my oil pan underneath it like I need to catch the fluid when it falls from here. So I had to get a little creative. So we got the funnel that's going to catch it as soon as I move this oil filter, and then it'll send it down to the whatchamacallit. So let's see if this works the way it's supposed to work. Okay, so there we go. You see that, guys? Now I just need to get this oil thing all the way out. Oh, it's draining. So the oil is being caught by the thing right there. Yes, that'll work there. Get that out the way. And see, a lot of times this will come off of the oil filter. And if you are a novice and don't really know what you're doing, you'll put your new filter on with this one still stuck to the housing. So make sure you don't do one of those numbers, okay? And so it's not a whole lot that's gonna come out. I already drained the oil itself, and so that's pretty much just it right there. So it's not a whole lot more that's gonna come from there. So that's how I do my oil and filter change. Let me get my rag over here. Ouch. I'd really wanted to have this done probably a couple days ago, so that I could have took today and tomorrow to just literally sit back, chill, unwind, and do nothing but chill as I get ready for my trip. Again, I'll be leaving Sunday, Sunday afternoon, about maybe 2 o'clock-ish, somewhere around there, to take off on my trip. Looking forward to it. And I've got my tools and everything that I'll pack. Got some nice little pouches that I'm gonna, kind of neaten up my little tool, having to pack with and everything like that. So everything's organized. Will not be packing a lot of stuff. I'm gonna be packing light, especially as it relates to clothes. I've got my riding gear that I'll utilize every day that I'm riding, and when I'm not riding, I'll be eating and then sleeping. So I ain't going on no fashion show or anything like that. I might bring a little cool little fit for the whole end end day banquet or whatever. But other than that, guys, man, it is what it is. I'll have to take this tank off here in a little bit so that I can change the spark plugs. And I've got I don't know, 111,000 miles on this old girl, and I can't tell you. I changed my spark plugs. Oh God, the last time I changed my spark plugs was probably about maybe 2 years ago. No, no. I think I changed it before I went to matter of fact, I think I changed it before I went to RTE. So almost about a year now, almost a year, not quite. Um, but for 40 bucks and some change, might as well just change them, and just make it do what it do. You see, even though your spark plugs are bad, let me say it this way. I talked about that this morning. Your bike may still be running, um, but it's not as efficient because your plugs can be hooked up. So fresh plugs, better gas mileage. Better gas mileage means less fill-ups, and that's what we are after. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, boys and girls, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, it's your boy Retro. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing done, take it out on the road, and get a little test. Matter of fact, before I do that, I'm gonna clean her up real good. Take my bags off, give it a little low-level detail, nothing major, because she ain't gonna do nothing but get on the road and get dirty again. Thanks for pressing play.